Kind of a gloomy day, a few raindrops here and there. But I've got the my old friend, the UMX Carbon Cub, the one that I had totaled out earlier, or pretty much totaled this spring. Didn't think I was going to get it repaired, but I did. The port wing was severed completely right by the fuse. It had some tail damage and other things, and the fuse was a little accordioned up in the nose. I think it still might be off by a little bit. We'll find out here. Due to the added weight from the repairs and the glue in the tail, now I've got to put a Hype 500 Babel bat up quite a ways. To put it right about there in the battery compartment to get the CG right. Back in the day, I used to have that right at the very rear of the airplane, or the battery compartment. But it's a little different now. So let's see. Well, I don't know if this thing's going to fly straight or not. I guess we'll find out here. The wind is just a little bit of a breeze out of the north, so I think I'm going to take off towards the cul-de-sac and fly over the field here. Get my trims kind of close to zero. Everything still works. Let's see how it goes. Flying at about half throttle. Seems to be flying reasonably okay. See how it lands. Yeah, I think my wheels are probably maybe not tracking quite straight. Yeah, it wants to turn right in a taxi. So, well, there's the reason. See if that maybe helps a little. I also think I'm going to move the CG forward just a little more. Kind of acts like it needs a different CG after the repairs. Okay, here we go again. Here's a little rough today. Flies pretty much like a Cub, but it appears still flies mostly like a Cub, but it appears that it's got a little bit of throttle to pitch coupling. Tends to balloon a little bit with throttle, and it didn't used to do that when it was trimmed right. Now it acts tail heavy a little bit, even though, I mean, it acts nose heavy based on it ballooning, and I've got to use a little down elevator even though the physical CG is a couple millimeters ahead of normal. So it's almost as if maybe the pitch coupling, maybe it's a little bit different, maybe the thrust angle might be off a little bit to the nose getting, because of the nose getting compressed. So it might have a little bit of unwanted a little up thrust that it doesn't need. But other than that, it seems to still fly like a Cub. Let me try, it's getting a little jittery out there. Let me try dropping the nose a little bit, bringing the flight speeds up a little higher. Yeah, it's not quite as easy to fly as it used to be. I'm not sure, like I say, I'm not sure if the thrust line is off a little from the nose getting crunched, or if the plane is somehow the incidence is different, or the decollage. I'll bring it in for a landing here. Let's see. Well, it's acting, it's kind of behaving tail heavy, but yet not. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm going to try. I'm going to try moving the pack forward a little bit, because it's, even though it needs a little down trim for, it needs a little down trim for level flight, but it's still ballooning. So, let's see if I can make a difference with that at all. Okay, that definitely helped. Plane behaves better. But it's still kind of touchy and darty. Not sure what's going on there. As much stuff as I repaired, it's hard to say. So usually I could do that maneuver and never worry about the plane's attitude. But it's behaving, and now the air is getting kind of weird. Oh, look at that downdraft. There's some major turbulence going on here now that I didn't have before. See if I drop half flaps, what does it do? Well, it gets kind of weird. I guess I landed downwind that time. We'll go up one more time. behaves really odd with the flaps down though. It's not flying right with the flaps down at all. So something, even with partial flaps, so something is a bit odd with the alignment of something. I'm just not sure what. Boy, the air is rough over here. Let's see if I can bring it in for a halfway decent landing. And we'll call that one good for a landing that's been a while. Been months since I've flown this thing. Well, it flies. Doesn't fly anywhere near as good as it used to. Anywhere near as well as it used to. And I don't know, it has that odd behavior where it acts nose heavy in some respects, ballooning with throttle. But it acts tail heavy in respects, kind of wallowy and odd effects odd behavior when I drop the flaps. Usually when the plane gets all weird and kind of balloony and floaty with partial flaps, it's usually a sign that I've got it too tail heavy. But right now it's balanced about 3 or so millimeters or 4 millimeters ahead of the recommended location, and this plane used to fly just perfect with the CG right at the recommended spot. So I'm not sure. I mean, I only had to repair one wing, so I'm not sure. It doesn't seem like it's a wing incidence issue. I don't, you know, I didn't remove the whole wing, and I didn't have to remove the horizontal stab or cut it up, so it should be at about the same angle as it used to be. So I'm not 100% sure why. Maybe it is the thrust line. Probably banging the nose the way I did when I wrecked it, the plane last spring. Probably moved the nose up. And so, since Cubs usually have some down thrust, this one still has a little, but probably maybe not enough. And that's why it behaves a bit nose heavy, you know, balloons with throttle, but acts tail heavy in other aspects of flight. Anyway, so there you go.